Oh, I've got Godzilla hung up on my microphone here. This one. So, I just got out of a therapy session with Laura, and I talked to her about, that my mom died last Thursday. Fuck cancer and fuck COVID, because they're what combined to finish the job. Took away what months she might have had. But also Prospect Medical Group, because they moved so damn slow that we just couldn't get anything done in a timely manner to take care of her, and give her any kind of quality of life or more time. So she never got the radiation or chemo that we were talking about that would have shrank the tumor to give her more ability to breathe. She never got that. But, in the end, she did not die a painful, horrible death. You know, I was with her. I've got my vlog about it. The title is My Mom Died. So if you want to hear about it, you just go there, because I don't want to rehash it, really. But Laura told me that I should be proud of myself for how I handled taking care of my mom and handled her actual passing and being with her and being brave about it. Because she said that's a hard thing to go through and to bear witness to. To see someone you love die is hard. Because Laura did not get to say goodbye to her mom before her mom died. Her mom died of COVID alone in a hospital, and that's just so sad. So, and I told her my heart goes out to her for that, because I got lucky in the sense that I got to be with my mom and say goodbye and say all the things you gotta say before someone leaves. I had the it's okay to die conversation with my mom before she was too sick to be responsive anymore. But something Laura wants me to work on is, when someone gives me a compliment, the programming from my dad that negates everything, I've got to become aware of when that comes up, because someone might say something positive and then something negative about what they said will come up. Like somebody saying, "Oh, you're being really brave. Look at how you're handling this." And I'm like, and inside I'm like, "But I cried and I'm scared. That's not brave." But brave is being scared and going forward anyway. That is what brave is. That's what courage is. It's you're scared and you go ahead anyway. Firefighters, they're scared of the fire and they run towards it and put it out. Soldiers in war, they're scared that they're not going to go home and they still go out there and fight. You know? So I need to notice when dad comes up in my head and remind myself that whatever bullshit I'm hearing him say in my mind as a leftover from how I was raised is that I can tell myself that's not true. It's fake news, it's a lie, it's bullshit. And don't let dad's programming take away compliments or kindness from other people. That it is okay for me to absorb it and accept it and welcome it. It's okay for me to do that. And it's okay to accept people loving me for who I am. Because believe it or not, I struggle with that. Itchy ear. So, when I get compliments, I struggle to accept them as true, but eventually I will. But nowadays, I say I was complimented, and that's a good thing. But I'm hoping to work towards thanks and accepting it fully for what it is as a compliment and not, oh, they're just saying that to be nice. But it's not really true. Because that right there, that's bullshit. No, I know that when somebody says that my fan fiction is great, When somebody says my outfit is cute, when somebody tells me I have a good singing voice, when somebody says I'm smart, when somebody says I'm good at organizing things, most of the time. That's a little joke from me because I know myself and I can organize other people's things, but my own stuff, but that's not a negative. That's just something to work on a bit. But when people say those nice things, those kind things, they are true things. They're not just blowing smoke up my butt to make me feel better, they mean it. And I'm allowed to accept it as truth and not put some kind of caveat on the end of it, like I did a couple seconds ago about organizing. But that's something I can work on. Rather than being, well, I'm messy for myself, but I can organize for you. It's more like, I gotta work on my messiness, but so what? We all got something we're messy about. We all do. But anyway, it's been a hard couple days. I told Laura that between last Thursday when my mom died and Saturday, that I had no sense of hunger or thirst, but I would eat or drink if someone put it in front of me. I would gobble it or chug it, but other than that, it's like eating and drinking didn't exist to me. And then all of a sudden on Saturday, I got my appetite back and I wanted to eat. And my sister Marcy's friend at school, the person that's actually subbing for her classroom, because she's a second grade teacher, this friend lost her mom in November. So, like, she's got her own raw grief, so she knows what we're going through. And she ordered a bunch of food from Panini Kebab and Grill on Saturday, and we ate a feast of like barbecued chicken and rice and salad um and like bread with hummus. And these were, some of these were things I'd never ever tasted before, and I really enjoyed it. And it's like I am allowed to find joys in life even though I'm going through grief. I'm allowed to look forward into the future, as nebulous as it is, and face it. And I don't have to be afraid of it. I can just wait to see what comes from it. Because losing a parent can be really scary in the sense of the world you knew is no longer the world you knew, but it's still the same. But it's different. I feel like I have been changed on the atomic level by looking into my mom's eyes as she died. And I told Laura that. It's like God went into the room and left the room, and she went with him when he stepped out. And like God never leaves in the sense of he doesn't leave the spaces we occupy, but like it's like his power swept through the room and took her and just lifted her up out of her body, out into the universe, into heaven, into everything. And that what I felt was that expansion, I guess. Just like the universe is expanding, she expanded out into everything. She's in heaven with her beautiful garden, because her heaven is a garden. Mine is a beach. The Pensacola beach in the movie Contact, when she goes through the wormholes and on that planet with the crystal blue water and the universe in the sky, that is my heaven right there. That is what it would look like. Except there'd be a choir, and I'd be in the choir. But before my mom passed away, I told her, when you get to heaven, let me know you made it by sending me a butterfly. And she's like, okay. She was kind of going in and out because it was a couple days before, but she went, okay. Like she let me know she heard me. Sunday after church, I was fixing myself salad. Was it salad? Yeah, it was a salad. And a butterfly landed on the kitchen window It was a monarch butterfly. It landed on the window for a minute, wiggled its little antennae, and took off again. And I went outside and I could not find it anywhere. I didn't see it flitting around Tiffany's yard next door. I didn't see it up over the roof or the trees. It's like it had appeared and disappeared in and out of this world. Completely in and out of this world. But I take that as that was Mom's sign. Because I asked her to do it. And lo and behold, I got a butterfly, a monarch butterfly, and they're really not supposed to be in season right now, are they? I'm not sure when they migrate or whatever. But if she's got a garden, she's got butterflies in it. So what if she sent one of the butterflies from her garden to tell me, hey, I'm fine? What if? So in my heart, I know my mom is in heaven and okay and surrounded by everybody that she's been missing in this lifetime since they have passed. You know, she's got Bernie, she's got Monroe, she's got Dickens, she's got Susie, she's got Cutie Pie, she's got Miss Kitty, she's got Pepper and Boo Boo. You know, with a lot of cats and a dog and her dog, Cece. God, there's a lot. And of course, her own mother and father, and her grandparents, and my Granny Betty, her stepmom, you know, and her sister Jeannie. You know, she's got people there with her. So, you know, I know she's not lonely up there. And of course, she's got God up there with her. I mean, she's lucky. She's finally sitting with God face to face, the God she's prayed to her whole life. And her funeral is March 31st at 10 a.m. So whatever is 10 a.m. in your time zone, just say a little prayer for me on March 31st, because that's going to be a hard day. So, yeah. But one thing I got to work on is not letting my dad or the stuff he's programmed into my head since I was a kid take away compliments people give me. I've got to notice when I hear him creeping up, and I've got to tell him to shut up. I've got to tell that voice to shut up in my head, that a compliment is a compliment, and I can accept it. I'm signing no in ASL as I say this. This is yes, this is no. I just happen to know that. So anyway, I've got to accept compliments and not put a caveat to them. It's just a compliment. It is what it is. Someone who said it and they meant it. And his lies are just lies. So I just got to stick with it and keep moving forward. Love you guys.